I finished up watching some more news on should America be run like a business. I agree with Cody. No, because the metaphor is just nonsensical on its face. For one, we already kind of are. There are several services that you will require as just a person. Just that, it's not provided. I mean, if you got insurance, yeah, an ambulance ride will cost you around $400 or $500 to get to the hospital. There are plenty of people I know, personally, that have forgone life-saving care and, health care just because they couldn't afford that ride. And that's if you have insurance. Without insurance, you're looking at tens of thousands of dollars for a ride to the hospital that you definitely would need if you're calling an ambulance, because trust me, it's not the best ride in town. I know people that have called taxi cabs to get to the hospital because it was cheaper than an ambulance and they weren't dying. That's insane in a country that's supposed to be safe, or a country that's supposed to be good in any kind of respect. But beyond that, it's, as Cody had pointed out in his show, and I'm using these metaphors a lot for this, but I mean, let's just go ahead and still man it. Say America is a business. Okay, well then who's the competition? The other countries? If I don't, for example, like our very Nazi-esque regimes, can I just skip on over to Mexico, easy as you please, and live there? Or Canada? Or I know I can swim the channel between us and England and just, become a citizen there like our rich elite folks could. Oh, but wait, no, that don't really work, does it? Because those other countries also have requirements of being citizens of them. So, again, country can't run like a business, because like our country is now, it will always fail. What it needs to be is something there for the people. I mean, beyond that, let's just say again, with the metaphor, our country is a business. We don't know who our competition is. Well, who's the customer? Is it us as the citizens? Is it the other countries? If it's the other countries, then does each and every citizen get a cut when our tax money goes to do something stupid? Like provide arms and armament for Israel or any other world power of your choosing? Do we get a say in that and like a cut of the profits? Or no, because CEOs still run those weapon manufacturing companies. It's just our tax dollars that pay for the research and development. Sounds like we're a failed company if we're any kind of company, personally. But then again, I also don't think it's wise to have a country run as a company, because name me a single good company. Even our good companies like this one here, Shaw, strong as can be, will inevitably, eventually collapse. So because of that, why not run the country like, a country, like a democracy, where people can decide on things? And, maybe we should let the people decide on more than just the people that we represent us. Give me a second, I see I got chat. Hello, Francesca Lopez Parra, how are you doing today? I just caught the Some More News episode that just dropped, the one on if countries should be run as businesses, and I strongly disagree. Oh, thank you very much, Francesca. But mostly it's because I think that countries should function, and I don't see a single corporation that functions effectively. And let me rephrase that, they function great for their CEO and shareholders. For everyone else, if you're an employee, you might get enough to make it by and survive, but I doubt you're thriving. Yeah, I feel you on the just good. Like I said, right now it's about 84 degrees according to the temperature app. Feels about like 90, but it's not so bad thanks to the cloud cover. Give it another little bit for the sun to creep out more and it might be less pleasant. But on the other plus side right now, coming to you from Cartersville, I get the joy of a busted ass sidewalk. Here very shortly, I will not have the joy of a busted ass sidewalk, I will just have grass. And thorns and weeds. But that time will come. Let's see what we got. Same chat. But to let you see, this is what I'm guessing a strode is, because it's a street and a road with lots of little businesses, but no real places to take a chill out second, to just sit for a moment. Factories, and then you've got eateries, and that's about all you got for this side of Cartersville. I mean, I guess you also got the Ladd's Farm Supply that we'll be passing by here in a little bit on our right. And honestly, if I had made more money today, I would have probably been going by there to get some wildflower seeds. We'll see what happens. But yeah, this is just our little town. And honestly, I feel like the main reason that I think that the government would do well to not run as a business, but run as a government should, is can you imagine how much benefit we would all face if we all got a little bit out of our government proper? I don't know, it's just me. Oh, well, that's okay. Have a good day, Miss Francesca Lopez Parra. Hello, S2. Hope you're doing well. Right now, I am waiting on the light to see. Just enjoying this heat for the moment. And the safety that this teeny tiny concrete island provides. That's a little bit of irony considering how many times we've lost this particular signpost to drunks. But it's daylight, so more than likely no drunks will hit us. One can hope. As we patiently wait on the damnable light. But it'll be about 4 miles, give or take. If I take as long as it typically takes for me to walk home, it'll be about a 2-hour hike. I will try to go slow and steady rather than try to speed up, because in this heat, you can't really cool yourself off. And in this town, there's not really any place to get off the road and take a chill. So, we're just gonna speed through the hottest portions as best we can and try to stick to tree cover as best we can. I've got lettuce and some tomato slices and some cucumbers, and thanks to Miss Cat, I think I got a couple more pieces of okra I might snack on the walk home. For some reason, my dear David is disgusted by okra, so I'll try to eat that before I get home. We'll just see. I like snacking on raw veggies. And everybody is gone. That's typical. Most of my viewers come from in the future anyway. Oh, we got one back. How you doing? How you doing? But here's the downside to my walk. Alrighty. Jordan Foy, I vaguely remember the name, but I'm kind of new at all this. But yeah, y'all. It's been a pretty good day for the most part. We had like 60 or 70 biscuits go out first thing this morning. And then we had, well, quite a lot of prep work had to be done, and I had to repair a couple of the machines. But it wasn't too bad of a day. We got off work about 30 minutes early because we never took a break. And at 30 minutes early, managed to get me by Ingles in time to not have y'all have to worry so much about, missing out on a stream if you were worried about it. Now, this part of the walk is, like I said, one of the easier parts, minus the heavy bag on my shoulder at the moment. Mostly because the bag's got salmon, it's got lettuce for the groundhogs, it's got tomatoes to plant randomly once I get about 200 feet away from the road. And then it's got medication for David, ramen noodles for me, and a couple bottles of water just in case I need them. Also, it keeps everything in there cold. And some various crafting supplies. You know, just the average stuff I carry with me. And I am so glad I decided to go sleeveless today for the walk. I have my uniform in the bag as well. At I did not realize how bleached this shirt had become the last few times I did my hair and at the time that I wore this last beard. Managed to get rid of most of my beard. I'm just left with the very nice mustache, I feel like. And we will add more to that mustache later. Well, you know, time will. Eventually it'll become quite the mustache. I'm trying to go for a whole Nietzsche thing if I can. I had it once, but then, you know, trimmed split ends. And before you knew it, I had to get rid of the whole mustache because no. But let me show you the road as we come towards the end of my part of the sidewalk. Like I said, it's not very well maintained, but it's much nicer than not having one, and it tends to keep the ground fairly level. It would be awful nice if the New Harley City Council or New Harley County, whatever does New Harley, would put something in like this. That way we can have our grass to separate the vehicles from the road, but we'll also have, you know, a sidewalk to maintain on the road. But once we get back to the house, we'll do a video game stream. And I didn't really have much to talk about today, unfortunately. I tried to get a chance, but that chance never came between having to rush to get prep done and rushing to get all the breakfast menu items done. I reckon one thing I could talk about, I guess, is the whole communication and communicating better, because I rely on my coworkers a lot. Anyone that was there for the morning stream noticed how short the stream was and all that, is because I typically show up at that place around 3 o'clock to wait for my coworkers who typically arrive by 3:30. It would be so much easier for me if they would simply, you know, text me back with the "I got your message and I'm on my way," or "Got your message and I can't." They so frequently just leave me to figure it out. And then like this morning, I almost started recording a secondary video. I just decided I'd wait till the sun came up, because walking through the dark, I don't think I can carry the stream that well, you know. Here's that creek I constantly feed the fish and such in, and the turtles. On the other side, it is much more lively than this side. But this is where I typically throw the tomato scraps so it can float on downriver and much further down start to hopefully grow some edible food. It does fill up quite high once the rainy season comes. But we ain't seen a good rainy season in quite some time here, it feels like. Then again, given what happened in Texas, maybe we don't want a rainy season here right now. And this is Lads, it's the farming place. It's not a bad place to go. They kind of have the monopoly on farm stuff out this side of Cartersville. On the other side, you got Lowe's, Home Depot, Walmart, Target, whole bunch of box stores carrying a whole bunch of different gardening supplies. Out here, it's basically them or Dollar General or Ingles. Ingles sometimes has stuff, but they don't really have tools, you know? there's not a lot of competition around these parts, it seems. Part of that seems by design, I suppose. Also, a downside that I've noticed just recently, sort of thing. I guess I never took the time to notice it before. I remember back when I used to walk, and even on this road, you'd hear like birds and various other animals and such. And just honestly, it feels like all you ever hear now is cars, vehicle noise, human noise. Even out on Uarley proper, it's gonna feel that way though, I guess. It's just because we've been removing their food sources and all their abilities to eat, so they don't really come this direction. And what we do get here are typically stray animals, abandoned pets, pets that ran off during fireworks and nonsense. And they end up getting, lost in these parts, adopted if somebody can find them. Most of the time, unfortunately, they end up just going feral. I finally figured out what those were. If it's leaves of 5 on the vine and it's got little hooks, that's creeping Virginia. It's a type of ivy. Similar to poison ivy or poison oak, except for the fact that for us it carries no poison. Those barbs are a son of a bitch though, that's for sure. My neighbor took a bunch of mine. Not that I mind, I really don't mind at all. I just hope he's cautious about it because it is it's not invasive. It is from the south and it is from one of our neighbors, but it is a very aggressive vine. That's why when I cut it yesterday, as well as some of the poison plants and some of the kudzu, I left it on the rocky dirt part of the yard so that it would, wither up in the sun. Well, he cut the rest of the grass and he took it with him. So I'm hoping he disposed of it with the yard debris. But being that he don't bag the grass, I don't know why or what he did with it, I just hope he's smart about it is all. Because if that sets in, it's a pain to get out, and those thorns make it real hard to pull out. Then one of my bosses gave me a good website to go try out for wild seed. Well, just particularly wild flowers for this route. Something that I could spread as I walk. And I was thinking flowers for pollinators, but I was also thinking perhaps getting something else, something that is a feed plant for animals. I'm just still learning all that, as bad as it is. Oh. Yeah, that heat'll get to. Oh, we've got fowl. We've got 3 little peahens that I'm gonna try to chase out the street if I can. Assuming I don't get hit in the process of trying to chase them. All right, let's give it a shot. Get out the road, little fellas. Get out the road, little fellas. Get out the road, little fellas. Get out the road, little raptors. Get out the road. Get out the road. Not in the road. Out the road. Out the road. Out the road. There you go, little peahens. There you go, little peahens. Out the road. Out the road. They look like tiny dinosaurs because that's what's left of the dinosaurs. Aren't they cute? I wonder if they escaped lads. Are y'all seeing them? Either way, y'all ladies have a lovely day. Do try to stay out the road now. I wonder if they'll get past the fence. Oh, I kind of want to take them home, but I know we can't keep them. And I know taking them home for 4 miles with no lead would be challenging at best. So I leave them here. And if anyone out there watching the video happens to want some peahens, well, you see where they're at last time I saw them. They look to be chilling under the trees here at the Carlisle's supply store. Again, my guess is they escaped from lads if I had to take a wild guess. If I had a vehicle or knew anyone with a vehicle, we might just have us some pet rescued peahens. Because they will give eggs if given enough time to, if they're given enough time to get older. Perhaps the Dr. Pepper is a bad idea. But hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Sweat, sweat, cool off. At least the sweat is still cooling me. So, since I'm all alone and Disney can't attack me yet for it, figured I'd give it a shot. I saw someone singing the soundtrack to Hercules, and there's one song on it that I particularly like, so I probably ain't gonna get it all. I doubt it. Oh, there's somebody here. I'm doing all right. Oh, hey, Benito, how you doing? I'm all right. I'm heading home. Picked up David's prescription. Got some snacks for me and the kids. And it's very hot. On the route from Ingalls to here, it has already gone from about 84, around about that on the weather app, to now it says it's 92. So yeah, I'm doing about as good as can be imagined in this weather. But we're making it, and we got some all right cloud cover. It's just if it weren't quite so hot. Whew. We got a bit of water on us too. So after we empty out this jug and I can put it in my pocket easily, we'll probably put one of the little duster things in the water and get some water. Because hydration is very important in this weather. Oh. It is so hot. And currently, Georgia is experiencing a heat wave. And I don't know if I talked about it this morning because I don't think I got the time to. But according to Inside the Magic, I don't know why I get Inside the Magic news from Disney, but I do on my Google News feed, so figured I'd share with you. Our vice president ruined several children's day at the Magic Kingdom, shutting down the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. Midday, no scheduling for it, just he showed up and shut that shit down so he could ride the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. And I'm sorry, given that J.D. Vance looks like a giant man-child, I'm just assuming he rode on the tiny little boat and clapped his hands the whole time, obnoxiously. Again, y'all make fun of the fascists. It really upsets them. In their book, they really, really, really want respect. And respect is something to be earned. And I'm sorry, but none of those fascist fucks have earned any of it. But we march. And now comes the part that's probably fun for y'all to watch. And it's the most dangerous part for me, so let's not put you in my armpit. Let's flip the camera around and let's walk. Oh, look at that. They left a screwdriver behind. Okay, we're back. I don't know if y'all see the deep hole that they got in there, but my guess is they're getting ready to put in a backup sewage line or a drainage of some kind, because it lines up with the other two holes that they got for the sewage. But I don't know, the city don't share that stuff so much. Hello again, Francesco. I'm doing good, hanging in there but barely. Now, if I can find some, because there might be some in this hike, but little blue stem and something else that's a native plant to the southern states. Don't know if I'll be able to find it in here though or not. Most of this is invasive and it's sort of like corn grass, for lack of a better term. I don't know how else to put it. If I was wearing shorts, this type of grass with its unique seed placement would be cutting my legs up something fierce. Thankfully, because I chose to wear pants today, I'm going to be able to just tank my way right through this walk, hopefully. Now, another good thing another opportunity that this walk presents me is a chance to, if I must endure it, to do it the safest way possible. That is, slow and steady wins the race. In the book, The Heat Will Kill You First, James Goodall includes the story of one family in California, I believe it is. But they went out to Olympic National Park and the entire family mysteriously died. Later on, it was found they died directly because of heat exhaustion and heat stroke. And that's the entire family, the husband, the wife, the kid, the dog. They found the husband, the kid, and the dog at the rest area where, again, best way the forensic anthropologist put it was, it appears that the husband sent the wife, who at that time would have been succumbing to heat exhaustion the least, as she had only had a small backpack, whereas the husband had been carrying the child, the baby bag, and basically holding on to the dog. Bergamot, if I'm not mistaken. Beautiful tea. And David can't have any because he'll get sick and possibly die. But a delicious herb if you're not a recipient of a new kidney. But the family and the family dog had all passed away. And what the forensic anthropologist turned over in their case, covered by George Goodell in The Heat Will Kill You First, was just that. First, the husband had succumbed to heat exhaustion, and he realized he could not carry the dog or anyone else any further. So he had sent the wife, is the best guess that they had, ahead with the keys and basically to go get the vehicle and then possibly to drive the vehicle along this narrow stretch to come get them. Because at the time they had an all-terrain vehicle, and when they found the wife's body collapsed further up the trail, a few feet behind her, possibly during the throes of heat exhaustion, she had lost the keys to their all-terrain vehicle. All three were pronounced dead on the scene. The heat will indeed kill you first. That is why we must be careful, and you, friends, must be careful at all times when doing outdoor activities, especially during a heat wave. Now, see, that's a good member of the populace there. That's a good person. Given ample space, because again, on this route that we walk, if we try to go too far left, we will slip and fall into the ditch. Right, we have a little bit less than a few inches before we are in the kill zone of the road. And the road itself is so narrow that most of the time cars cannot afford to give you the luxury of the shoulder space. What I'm saying is this road was not planned out well for any kind of pedestrian traffic. My guess is they intend for the pedestrians to take Mission Ridge, which is the road that we passed that was over that bridge where I had to wait for the traffic sign to change. If I had taken that route, it would take me roughly 15 miles, but about 10 out of the way of the direction I'm going. So, as as unsafe as it is, I was about to say unhealthy. It is also probably very unhealthy. But as unsafe as it is, this is the only route we really have available to us. If you are also like this, perhaps we should all talk to our cities about why it is that they can afford for the cops to be decked out like military paratroopers, but they can't even come and get the rebar off of this road. Anyone knowing this channel knows that's a running joke, but I feel like that rebar is going to be there longer than I'm here on this planet. And that is Japanese knotweed, if I'm not mistaken. Highly invasive. I would do something about it, but the idea to crouch on this particular road, well, again, I won't be doing our Mother Nature any good if I'm dead. So we wait, and then we cross. And we wait, and we cross. And if the signal keeps dropping, which I get it might, I might just back out of this and y'all give it a little while. I gotta be in bed before 6:30 so I can be up for the early shift tomorrow. Coneflowers. These are a Georgia native wildflower. Aren't they pretty? A good plains flower and great for pollinators. I'm not sure about the rest of the patch here, but the coneflower at least I recognize. As well as those little fellas, but that's not really fully. There's another one. They're like a little purple pansy thing. They're very lovely. And they're also, again, very good for pollinators. I don't see any milkweed, which is probably why we haven't had any butterfly populations. Whereas before, long ago, the monarch butterflies were actually a bit of an issue for Ladd's Farm Supply and then basically dying out in their fields. But we haven't had monarch blooms like that in quite some time, mostly because land developers don't like to develop and grow wild grasses from Georgia and the plains. They would rather grow these wild European sods and shit. I say shit because just that. That's just what it is. You're planting plants that belong in Asia here, which is fine if you have that population to tend to them. But here we don't. I mean, we do have some of them here now. The lanternfly is coming around. Lantern beetle. The one that's destroying fucking forests. But it's because they can eat our native plants and they can eat their native plants. And their native plants are super aggressive for ours. They can really decimate our plants because our plants don't have any of the defenses that some of the more Asian plants have. I wish I had better examples for you. For that, I would just, I don't know, be lazy and suggest look it up because I genuinely can't at the moment. Oh, Lord. Another slight channel business, I suppose. I believe it's called the Petite Trail, P-E-T-I-T-I. It's got a lot of similar letters in it, but it's a trail that goes from Alabama, Mississippi, and Georgia, and I believe it goes all the way up into Tennessee, according to the Google search. Because I was originally looking up Pine Creek Trail, the one that ideally, if Forget Me Not shows, we might go on soon. I don't think we'll go on it this time if she shows up, just because she's planning on coming on the first day back of my 2-day shifts. And while those days I don't have to get up as early as these 2 days, I still can't be out forever because I got to be up in time to walk in at 8 and do the walk-in streams, which usually go a bit easier than these. Mostly because, you know, it's much cooler at that point. But I'm happy to have y'all here. Hello, David, and I'll see you soon. I feel you on that one, Benito. Most of the people around here also don't exactly wait in line patiently and properly. Boy. But yeah, check it out. I'm guessing that was due to the JD Vance thing. Yeah, no, he didn't even want any other children on the ride. And that's what kills me is it's like, dude, Universal is literally right there. And I'm sorry, but as an adult, Universal is right there, dude. I mean, I get the whole, oh, he's the vice president, we have to protect our blah, blah, blah. But it's like, yeah, but he went to a kid's theme park. I feel like the kid should have the right of way there. I mean, he shouldn't shut down Universal either. My big thing is, we're involved in a genocide in the Middle East. Y'all could not find the money to house our veterans or fix student loan debt or build the economy, but you had no money to throw a fucking Alcatraz, as you call it. Fucking, it's hot, y'all. Dachau, as I think of it as. And we've already lost a couple people to the rampant abuse and violence of our government. And these are people that are just being banished. Shit that doesn't and shouldn't happen in a proper democracy, but is now brought to you thanks to the Trump administration and every single person that voted for him that didn't have critical thinking skills on their side when they did it. Because for all y'all, I'm just curious, how's that lack of medical care doing? I know of at least 2 local hospitals around here that are gone now. And in the case of Cartersville Medical Center, well, they had already sold out to whatever they are. I think originally it was Cartersville Medical Center. Then it was Cartersville Medical Center as provided by Piedmont. Then it was Cartersville Medical Center as provided by some else. And now they've been bought out again. And I still can't afford to go. My thing is if they're going to keep selling out, why do I still owe medical debt to a hospital that doesn't exist? Why does anybody still owe medical debt to a hospital that doesn't exist? To me, it seems like once that business goes under, you shouldn't be able to continue charging people for your crap. They outlasted you. Tough titty. As soon as we get the chance, we'll be crossing the road again. We just got over traffic. I feel sorry for his tiny, tiny penis. Because for all that wannabe power and that little roar his tiny farting truck did, it didn't go very fast. When my vehicles roar, typically I got to make sure we're not cutting down the road at 90. And then again, that's, silly me. I think if things be loud and are supposed to sound powerful, they should indeed be powerful. Then again, I don't know. That shade feels real good, y'all. Feels real good. I really appreciate the 4 likes, and I'm really appreciative of the 1 viewer I still got. As I said, we're going to keep trying. But y'all, due to the weight in the pack, I think I might cut it soon if I can't think of something else to do. And go ahead and just power through to get home. Main thing I wanted to do is to show you the various little survival skill things you can do. One of which is slowing down, which sadly I cannot do. Because if I slow down, I lose what little bit of the day I have left. And yes, I get it. I'll have no time left in the day if I have a heat stroke and fall out. I get that. But again, I can't. I gotta push. I can make it. But stay hydrated. Try to keep your cognition up. Keep your spirits up. In through the nose, out through the mouth. According to the World Health, something that made me very sad upon reading it. Apparently I need to cut coffee out of my diet because as my country becomes more and more tropical, apparently coffee specifically is not good for you as heat temperatures rise because of heart conditions and complications that caffeine does. The effects that caffeine has on the nervous system, you know? And I just don't know how the hell I'm gonna cut coffee out without really upping my tea game, you know? Because I can do soda, I just, after a while, if all I've been having is soda and tap water, I start to feel kind of, I don't know, not right. I need the caffeines and the flavors that teas give me and whatnot. So, I was thinking this afternoon, since we lost the Minecraft world this morning, and sadly I will indeed not have the $10 as I was hoping and expecting. I just got ramen, a new pencil sharpener because I needed one. My last one finally gave up on those hard pencils I had. I blame Crayola, but I had to get a new pencil sharpener. I got some ramen noodle for lunch in a few days, and I have to try to get cat food. So sadly, I probably won't be able to get that server going yet. Soon though, perhaps. I am watching my account because I should be getting a raise of about 60 cents per hour due to passing my certification tests for ServSafe and all that. Assuming that's what those tests were. I do a lot of random shit without actually fully thinking through. And I got to see a field mouse. That's lovely. It ran off where I could get a good shot of it. I just saw the leaves move, and it was either a field mouse or a micro squirrel. And micro squirrels are pretty expensive and not native to this habitat, so I'm guessing chipmunk or field mouse. Alright. About to be at the big open fiery fuck you of it all, and I'm gonna be walking through the field. On the bright side, it appears that nobody is here today. So if that is the case, with any sense of luck, leaving naught but footprints and taking naught but pictures, in this case video, we'll go ahead and take a walk down by. One, it'll be shadier, so that'll be nicer for me, but it'll be a nicer view for y'all than this crap. So, with my big old man pants on, let me slide on through the tall grass. God, I love it when I got pants sometimes. Just makes it nicer. Let's cut around the field because it looks like they've sown something in here. And we always try to be respectful of the land. We might not respect the property owners, but we do respect their property. That sort of thing. And in this case, I got no problems with the property owners. I don't know them. They could be wonderful people. They could be jackasses. I don't know. I know they share this when they don't have to. So that's awfully nice of them. Away from me biting insects. And it's a very simple gravel drive. The rules. It's only really available during the day for all residents. Select days through the week. Use it at your own risk. Don't fuck up the field. All the various simple rules to follow that some people just can't seem to grasp. Not a whole lot of tree cover, but it's still much nicer to be down here by the river, you know? Even though there ain't a whole lot of tree cover, it's still pretty nice. And now we're about to get to that nice tree cover. And that's how far away the super stupid dangerous road is. Let's all say hi to the super stupid dangerous road from way over here, where we get to see water and turtles and swings and benches. But as you can see, I mean, it is very much use at your own risk. Don't be dumb, bro. But it is a very nice little quiet fishing spot. Very old trees that I like personally. These two are bonded together, fused over time. Perhaps brothers. And then this is a very pretty sight, almost like a squid or something of the sort. Hello, Allison Salandra. Sorry I did not see you sooner. I hope you're doing well today. See, what's neat about these particular holes is they're sort of the hotels of the field. Because you'll have ground squirrels, you'll have ground hogs, you'll have a variety of species and snakes that call these little burrows home. But then when the river rises, as it is apt to do, especially during the winter months, it'll come up to this bank area, and this will provide optimum egg laying ground and spawning ground for catfish and various other types. Whoa, low bridge. Apparently the people who run this place are dwarves. But you can see the mud bank on the other side where catfish have also dug in. And this is a prime location for turtles and the like. I just highly suggest you avoid the low bridges because everything has a low bridge. Also, no trepar a los arboros, or no climbing in trees. I know I butchered the Spanish there. And I would swing on the swings for a fun effect, but I don't think I will because I'm a fat boy and those are meant for a small boy. But I will show you just another beautiful shot of the river, because we really can't get enough of those, can we? It really is just a timeless beauty. Like I said, there's the rules here, to my knowledge, are catch and release. But I mean, let's be honest, folks, now that we know what we know, yeah, it's catch and release here, as per the sign saying. But I would actually say that's kind of cruel when you think about it, because it's like, you know, the fish feel pain and stuff, right? No swimming. Main reason why is because my guess is the snakes, personally. Though I haven't seen any in quite some time, this is water moccasin country. Water moccasin, or if you're a local, cottonmouths as they are called. And if it bites you, you might not die. Though if it bites you, regardless of if you die or not, you'll probably wish you did. Also, just another reason to not swim is a lot of the tree debris that's in there, the logs, the whatnot. Not only is that primary real estate for snakes, I don't know why it sounds like I'm going through puberty, but not only is that prime real estate for snakes, but it also creates wicked undercurrent at places. Surprisingly, they don't care if you tube through here or kayak, and my guess why on that is, oh, turtle, big turtle. I don't think the big turtle's gonna resurface because I startled him. But he might, oh, there he is. Big turtle, do y'all see him? Yeah, I can see him, y'all can see him. Oh, he got little turtles with him. Fuck yeah, we said, this is that family, y'all. These are the ones I feed. It's all for y'all, Damien. It's all for y'all. Yeah, an Omen reference in 2025. That's what the people want. And then, like I said, it's a very lovely little place. I typically wouldn't show the internet this place because it's just a local little spot. And as long as locals respect it, it'll stay the loveliest little spot. I mean, hell, I think Chuck might have brought the grill down or something because it is new. The grill is new. Please nobody steal it. And this is where the washout happens at. Typically, if I was going to throw seeds in this area, this is where I would throw them at. so that when it rained real good, they would wash out to the river, hopefully having enough time in between the 2 times to germinate. Now, I think I need to double back to get along the walking path here. But before I double back, if you were to take our wild river tour and kayak and or tube down to this section of the water, and you avoided all my chicken parts and all that, which good for you, happy to see that. Check the flow before you float. There's a number there that will actually allow you to know if the river's up or not, because this stuff, when the dam lets go way up downriver, it will fuck you up down here. Also, occasionally you'll see lake sturgeon. If you see them, there is a number indeed to call, because it is a very rare animal to see in this waterway, and I have seen one in my 36 years. Technically, I've seen 3, but I've seen 1 in Georgia, so I count it as the 1. But look at that water, y'all. That's why conservation is good. That is why we do what we do. Because not that long ago, coming down here, you'd have had nothing but that color green all the way up to the bank, and there would have been some sort of growth in it. The conservation works, y'all, so long as we let it. Nature will recover and take herself back. But that was a load of fun. My signal's getting choppy, so I'm about to probably have to say goodbye for now. And I'll try to find some more cool stuff on YouTube to watch and listen to, and hopefully bring y'all better points. Well, I guess I can do that one. There is another fun thing, but it's an outdated ass subject. I went down a rabbit hole of Confederate nonsense. And yeah, a lot of creators made a point. What is it with vampirism? And other than the more recent sinners, most Southern vampires try to save Confederate soldiers as, oh, well, it's a good source of trauma for their past and all that, and, you know, glorious undead bullshit like in True Blood and whatnot. Y'all, as a Southerner, can we not do that, please? They didn't do anything honorable. They were fighting for slavery. They were fighting for the right to own other people and to force other people through shit they would not have gone through. It's a blight, a blemish on the good Southern name. And I think we should much more point out and applaud the good Southern gentlemen who fought on the side of the Union and the side of freedom. But that's just me, y'all. I wish I had more to say about that, but like Jasper from Twilight, I've heard that's getting a reboot and don't understand. I mean, Animorphs is right there. Cirque the Freak is right the fuck there. Christ's sake, for the bronies, My Little Pony's right there. Why are we rehashing garbage? I don't know, y'all. I'll try to have better topics when I get home. I'm about to conserve a lot of my energy, and I'm probably about to take about a 5-minute break here in this cool shady patch, and then I'll start heading home. We've been going almost an hour, so that's a good time, I reckon. And it's as good a time as any to cut. Just letting you know, this ain't the Blair Witch Project. This, flip around camera, this is that little island in the middle. And it's a lovely little place to just sit for a minute. I thank y'all for coming. I'll try to put on a better show here in a little bit when I get home. Y'all be good, stay together, work together, stay hydrated. See you in a little bit. Bye, y'all.